Right, today's video is a little bit different. Obviously, we had a result yesterday with the APR threshold being raised, which is seriously good news, especially for them, smaller farms. It's not 100% perfect. It's probably halfway there. Everyone's trying to call it U-turn. I'm not. I'm calling it a change of direction. We need a complete U-turn to get it right, to fix farming. Anyway, how have we got to this point, I suppose, is the best way to describe it. So I'm just going to go through the last sort of 14 months. I've got a bit of a list here of different tricks and lobbying things that we've tried, a few of us, to get to that point. So I thought I'd summarise it in a little video because I've not been doing a lot of work today on the farm. We've been fixing the boiler. You'll see a little bit of that later. But yeah, generally, that's why. So it all started the day of the budget. I watched it in end of October the other year, and when Rachel announced what was happening, I was like, this is the end of family farms. So I text my solicitor, I suppose, guy that does all the stuff when I buy something, and said, this is the end of family farms. And he's like, it looks like. So I put a tweet out there. Anyway, the next day, Clive Bailey from the Farming Forum added me and Martin into a WhatsApp group. So there was 3 of us. And we were talking about how bad it was and whatever, and what we could do. Anyway, NFU organised a mass lobby event in London on, I think, the 19th of November. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And everyone was heading there. Anyway, I was flying to Italy with Martin and gets a phone call off... sorry, no, I've skipped a bit there. Anyway, James Mills rings me up and says, we need to do more. Not everyone's going to fit into this NFU event. What do you think we can do? Do you think we can organise something in London? So I said, I know a man. So I rang a guy up I know who's very high up in the police near me, but has links to the Met, and rang the Met up and said, a lot of farmers heading to London, they can't fit into the NFU lobbying event. Can we help you manage them so they don't go to Wetherspoons, get drunk and be leery, and create a focal point for farmers to feel like their voice is heard? Met thought this was a really good idea and rang me when I'd just landed in Italy on my way to the AIMA show with Martin. So we borrowed the broom cupboard in the Dugatti motorbike factory, and just like I have now, got my phone propped up, we propped my phone up and had a meeting with the Met and said, look, all these farmers are coming, what can we do? And they were like, oh yeah, well, we can find you a place, Right, what if we wanted to march? Could we close the road? Yeah, we can sort that for you. So we arranged to close Whitehall and Parliament Square, and we were like, oh, that was easy, really. Happy days. We can't believe we've just done that from a broom cupboard at a motorbike factory in Italy. The motorbike factory in Italy was just around the corner from the airport. That's why that came about. So we started socialising it. Look, get yourself to London on that day. If you can't fit into the NFU event, don't worry, we'll be there. It suddenly became a big thing. So Clive sorted out a bit of a website straight away. Wardy, we tasked him with sorting out the food bank, because we decided that we need to remind the public that we're food producers. We need to take the debate away from the 1 million and the 2 million and the 3 million and all this. And we're food producers. It's land. It doesn't have any value to us because we don't, sell it. It's tools of the trade. So the food bank was going to do that and move the debate and then remind them that we're food producers. So we're on about this. Anyway, Jeremy Clarkson messaged me and said, oh, I'm a bit nervous about this, giving food away to the food bank. And I was like, well, we do it every day below the cost of production. He's like, yeah, fair play. Do you need any help? So can you speak at it? So Jeremy was there. That got the press even hungrier, and we kind of managed the press. And everyone wanted to know what was going on, what the protest was going to look like, And a little bit nervous that we could have got in trouble for it, but we got the Met behind us all the way in the fact that we were managing a lot of people. So James Mills did all the geeky stuff in the background and write all the letters to make sure everything was right. Brought that skill set to us, and we commandeered a room in the Farmers Club. Thank you. They let us use a bit of a war room, and we saw Emily Sheffield on Newsnight or something, and we're like, she's really good, we need her number. So we tracked her number down through an ex-Prime Minister, got her number, and asked her would she help compare it. Anyway, it was a massive thing. 45,000 farmers turned up. We didn't realise at the time, but it was up to us to tell the police the numbers, for them to tell the news outlets. We said 11 at first because that was all that registered, but actually when we did a crowd count and squared it all up, that's what it was. So we learned very quick there that you've got to make sure you communicate everything to get the right stories into the press. We had the front page of the Times the day Trump was elected, as we were organising this march, which is nuts. You've got Trump election and then underneath me going on about, you know, protecting farmers and food security, which is pretty mega. You can probably see that on the screen now. Yeah, so big success. What next? Well, it was cold and wet that day, so we thought we need to do something a bit different. In the meantime, a friend had got in touch, Olly, who does that kind of lobbying space kind of thing, and taught us a lot about how to lobby and how to network in London. So I think I've spent 56 days in London since the last budget, just meeting different MPs, getting in front of them, telling the story, getting phone numbers, and yeah, just communicating, I suppose, is the best way of describing it. We got the EFRA committee on board very soon because they could obviously see how much it affected farming, and Alistair and anyone on there have been amazing. So we had many conversations with different members of that group because we knew that they understood the rural. So we got on with this. Anyway, we decided we needed to do something to bring bigger business in. We needed business with us because it wasn't just farmers. So we thought, right, let's do something indoors. We don't want to get wet. And we arranged the thing in the London Palladium, which was kindly gifted to us for the day, shall we say. So we did that, but we never realised how hard it was to get other businesses to understand. And it was mainly because there's such a shortage of talent in that space that they didn't want to risk their employees jumping ship because they're always getting headhunted all the time if they thought that there'd be an issue if father or mother was to die. So that was like pulling teeth, getting big other businesses in, big family businesses. But thanks to Paul Andrews, he helped with that as well, and helped, what do we call it, compare the day with me. And we did a thing in the London Palladium, like basically a mass, what would you call it, press conference. So that took us up to Christmas, and we thought, what can we do over Christmas? Everyone's busy, but we still need to keep it in the news, because we've done numerous radio, telly, you name it. We'd done it, all of us, and we just need to keep going with that. We also knew as well that the NFU had their lobby event, but we knew that they had to turn up at ours because there was quite a lot of criticism that they weren't doing enough. So we invited Tom Bradshaw, the president, to come and speak on the day at our big march, which he did, and I'm glad he did, because otherwise, they were getting criticised for not doing enough. Moving on from the Palladium, we said, right, what can we do over Christmas? So we came up with the Beacons of Hope, because it was dead easy for everyone to do. Unfortunately, the weather was really bad that day, but Ian, that works for me, quickly built us a website, and you could put where you were putting the different beacons, and we ended up doing that. And again, it just kept in the news and kept reminding the public what it was. After that, we started a petition. We were like, right, we need to get these farmers that are older out of the eye of the storm. So we started a petition to say that, look, these older generation need 7 years. The petition, I don't remember what it was when we last looked, it got probably 10 or 11,000 signatures. We really wanted 100,000, but it was just hard to get other people on board with that. We decided that everyone wanted to do something again in London, but it had to be framed different because we knew we wouldn't get the numbers. So we come up with a March the 4th, because the first time we did something in London, it was too far, it was too many people to march. So we thought, well, March 4th works, and it was around the time that some of the financy stuff was going on. So we went back to London and we took some kit with us with price tags on. Now, some people were like, oh, you shouldn't do this, but that was the whole thing. They completely undervalued the business of ag. Hence why the threshold was only £1 million, and we needed to get them to understand how valuable machinery is invested in ag. Hence the combine behind. So we ended up with this amazing picture. I ended up with that one as well on the very first rally, because we took some pedal tractors, kindly gifted by JCB and Class, to show that it was that generation that were being affected the most. So that was another trick that we did. Say trick, it's all true. It's just we needed to remind them. So we did the Pancake Day rally. We talked about the cost of a pancake, how many million was invested just to produce a pancake. Got on with that. And if you actually kindly sponsored the PA system on that day. So thanks, Nigel, for sorting that out. Nigel, friend, also helped us a lot on that day with a lot of the organising because James was busy and he needed someone good at admin. So thank you. After the Pancake Day, it was the wheat strike. Now, a lot of people were like, why are you doing it on April Fool's Day? Because it's this, that, and the other. The reason we did it on April Fool's Day was so that the trade did not know it was happening until it was too late. Because the whole thing it was based around was the fact we don't ship wheat out of farm buildings. Everyone thinks it's going to be short and goes and panics buys. And we get it all over the socials and get it all onto the news. And then we cause a spike in demand, just like the diesel strikes years ago when they blocked the fuel depot for like hours, but it caused panic for 2 weeks. So we wanted people to be reminded that we produce bread and we produce food. And we thought if everyone goes and buys 2 loaves, then it's going to cause some empty shelves. And people are going to think, actually, yeah, these farmers, if they stop holding wheat back, then we have got empty shelves and we actually do need them. So that was what that was all about. But we couldn't tell people until it was about to happen because we didn't want the trade forward buying and stocking up and cashing in, basically. So that was, if we did it again, we can do it now. We just communicate the story, but don't tell the date until the last minute. But then at least everyone gets it. Following on from that, we were getting near summer. Farmers were getting busy. What do we do next? So we'd been in touch a few times trying to get hold of someone from Panorama. And randomly, someone came to us and said, I know someone from Panorama. So we met with them. And we had a few meetings and we were trying to find some case studies of what to do and who we could get on it to tell the story of what exactly was going on. It's still not happened, but then also Panorama have had its own issues and it's kind of took a little bit of the kudos away from the factual programme that was Panorama. In the summer, we had a visit from Trump and lots of questions were being directed to Trump about immigration. We got in touch with Bev Turner. We'd got to know her through GB News. She'd reported on our rally the first day. Said, can you ask some questions about ag? Can you get IHT on the agenda? Which she did perfectly. And we ended up with that, Trump sort of speech to Starmer saying, you've got to look after your farmers. So that was amazing. Get over the summer, loads of different meetings with whether it be different MPs of all different colours or even some of the Labour ones that we'd got to know. I mean, sadly, someone will say one thing to your face and do something else in the house, but that's another story. But backwards and forwards to London, 56 days, I think, I spent in London. I might have told you that, or did I? I can't remember. But yeah, we got on with that. Then, right, anniversary of the 1st March. What do? We won't get the numbers because people are busier. They've all been. We needed something social media headliney grabby. So we took a tanker, we filled it with water, we put dye in the water. Unfortunately, we did it the night before. So when it came out, it all completely dissolved because it was water friendly. So it came out clear instead of brown, but we put brown dye in the water, which was a shame because it was 90 quid, that dye. But we did the tanker outside. Got a bit more press, a bit more talking, pre-budget. Then of course, on budget day, Dan Willis and a load of them up that way decided that they were going to do something as well, and they organised it with the Met, asked would we help and be there. So we got ourselves down there. I got off the train just as they cancelled it. Well, all we wanted was media. It was perfect. We straight onto the news channels and the newspapers of what was going on, and we knew it had come from the top down. You need to stop this. So it didn't really work. It just gave us so much exposure, kept it fresh in the news, and we also then said back to the Met, next time you won't know the day, they'll just turn up. So feed that back up from where the other bit come down. So hopefully that happened, because when it all kicked off in Europe last week, I bet number 10 were thinking, if they come back, we're in trouble. So I think a lot of all these things all stacked together. Obviously, you got NFU in the background as well, writing letters to MPs and putting the banners out. All that added up, just pressure. I think Dominic Cummings said at the very beginning when we did the first rally, pressure. And he was right. All that has added up to enormous pressure for that government. And the main thing we've done is we've got the public to understand what agriculture is, what it means, what it does, and the level of investment involved just to do something like make a pancake. So thank you to everyone that shared everything or turned up or written letters or whatever, because there's been loads of other bits and bobs around it, but I think there was 14 different things that we did along the way. There's so many people to thank. We're not there yet. We're halfway probably, but nevertheless, there's some people now having a better Christmas than they first had. So yeah, bit of a different video, but that's a 15-minute whistle-stop tour of 14 months of lobbying the government. So back to the day job. Charlotte will be pleased, the new Christmas presents arrived. Boiler's messing around, so we're going to weld some bits of steel on just to make the auger a bit sharper at the bottom. The new auger is here, but it's a big day of a job putting it in for a few people, and we're not doing that today. We were thinking of knocking off at dinner, but it's now 1 o'clock and we're still messing with things. Welded some ferrobide on that the other year and it's perfect. The one next to it's worn halfway down now. So definitely worked and done its job. It just needs a little bit further down and here maybe. I would guess that's rough enough for Christmas Eve on an organ that needs to come out and be replaced anyway, don't you think? Looks okay, doesn't it? We've got some shit flowing off it, that's a start. Just. Well, it flows back down, which is a bit annoying, isn't it? Grabbing it now. Now it's filled. It's grabbing it, isn't it? Not normally this dusty in January, it's 10th December. Lost a month then. Checking the boiler's let, think it has. We're going to go up to Brookhouse now and check that one at the Holiday Let, see how someone's in tomorrow. Last thing I want is that going off as well. If you've made it this far, thank you, because it was a bit of a strange video, but yeah, just some of the tales of the last bit. I mean, there's so much that we can't put in, so many people that we met with that's top secret, but yeah, there we go. Gonna quickly do today's birthdays. We've got Derek Lee's 60, happy birthday. Olivia Hood is 17, so now you can drive wider tractors on the road. And Thomas Hamilton has said happy Christmas. I don't know whether that's to us or someone saying happy Christmas to him, but either way, he's on there. I'm now at £107,267. Thank you all for the ambulance. Anyway, I'm going to end the video now. I wish you all a happy Christmas, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.